Hey everybody, welcome to Song of the Week. We're super excited this week because it's one of my all-time favorites. The song is called Tarantella. I will go ahead and play it for you and then we'll break it down and show you things to do and things not to do. Okay, when I usually show that to students, their eyes get really big and they're like, I can't do that. I just started piano lessons a month ago or 2 months ago, and I tell them it looks much harder than it actually is. Let me show you why. Come on in. So if you come over here you can either type Tarantella here, or you can go to the Song of the Week and find it in the bundle, Tarantella, or you can just go on to this one with the little dress. You can save it as your favorites and then open it and you will see, by the way, I'm in beta, so you guys won't see the pictures of this on there. But if I come over here to the this first phrase, I need to go to the print button. So let's open this. I'm gonna zoom out and just show you how it's set up here. Let's take this little snipping tool so I can draw in the music for you and talk about it as we go. All right, so this first one here, I'm gonna take and just highlight right here is the A section. And then let's go to the next color, grab a blue pen. This here is the B section. I'll talk about that one next. And then the last section we'll do in red right here is the coda. C-O-D-A. Anybody know what coda means? It actually means, it's Italian for tail. And so a coda is basically the tail of the song. All right, so let's look at this A section here. I want to show you this chord and this chord, because those are the only two chords in this whole section. Notice they all look identical. That's the same as that one's the same, that's the same. So all these three are the same. And then this one is the 5/7 chord. Let me show you what those look like. All right, if you come down over here to the piano, I'm gonna show you the chord. This is the 1 chord, and it's a broken chord. And then we go to the 5/7. Now there are 3 main chords when you're talking about most songs, and that's the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5/7 chord. If I were to do that in the key of C, it's a 1 chord, the 4 chord, 1 chord, 5/7. So I move over to the key of D minor, and I have the 1 chord, which is your D minor, your 4 chord, which is going to be a G minor chord, back to the 1 chord, and then the 5/7. And those are the 3 chords you're going to need for this song. That is most of the song. So the A section is done. So let's take a look really fast. Now I'm calling these 1, 4, and 5/7. If you want to know why they have the name, I can go through that really quickly for you. Not many people understand why it is. It all has to do with the scale degree. So here's my D minor scale. There are 8 steps in a scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th one is actually the same as the first one. Now, when you say the 1 chord, we're saying that because it starts on the first scale degree. The 4 chord would actually start on 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts on the G. And then you play your triad. Of course, the B is flat in this key. So that's my 4 chord. My 5 chord would be up 1 more. And I'm playing a sharp there because they usually raise that as a sharp. If you want to know why, it's because it produces a resolution back from the 5 chord to the 1 chord. Now, when I said this may not look like the same chord to you, that 4 chord, all it really is, it is the same chord. It's just I already have the D in my pinky here. So if I leave the D instead of coming up here, then I just have to move this one up here and this one up to there. And it's a shortcut to get to the 4 chord. D minor to G minor. The 1 chord to the 4 chord. All right, so why then is this one the 5-7? And what is a 5-7? Okay, so we already know the 5 chord would start on the 5th note, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You build the chord. Of course, we're going to raise this to C sharp to make it a dominant chord. So now there's our 5 chord. I also called it dominant. That's because usually the dominant chord, they call the 5 chord a dominant. Now, it sometimes has an additional note. And we add the 1, 3, 5. These are just completely different set of numbers. It's super confusing. I don't know why they did that. They should have called it something else. But there's a 3rd. Here's a 5th. This is a 7th in the chord. So it's a 5 chord because of the scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's a 7 chord because it has more than a triad. It adds the 7th of the chord. So we call that a 5-7. So that's why you call this a 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 1 chord. Remember this 5-7 chord? If I take my shortcut, I need this note here, so I'll just lower this down here. I need this note here, which is that 7, and then I already had my thumb on there. You notice we're omitting a note. Which note are we omitting? Looks to me like we're omitting this note. Very often they leave that note out. So 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. If you didn't get that, don't worry about it. Just play the notes. All right, so here's our chord. Now, one thing I like to do to make it sound better is you hold it and do a quick 2-note phrase to a staccato. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Check this out now. You're going to like those chords. Let's move over here to the B section. Notice that this chord here is the 4 chord, same as, I forgot to mention this, by the way. This one here is a 4 chord. So these two guys are the same. This one is the same as that one, and this one is the same as that one. So you're doing the exact same chords, but now we have them in a block instead of broken. So let's come down and look at that. So now we start with the 4 chord, and then we go to the 1 chord, and then we go to the 5-7. I think I missed a spot. 4 chord to 1 chord, 5-7 to the 1. And that one was broken. Repeat. this part is a little different, but I'll show you how to make it easy. It looks cool, sounds cool. All you're playing is the A and the E. And then you do the same thing here. A, E. Just cross your hand over and do A, E, A. And that's basically the whole song. Except for the coda. Now the coda is easy because you play 3 notes. You recognize this chord as the 1 chord if you just put it in this inversion. The D is on top though. That's the same as that, and then we do it there. So we start there, do your D chord, then you do it again. Cross over, do it again. Cross over, do it again. And then cross over and land on the D. Jump back to the beginning chord and finish. And then I like to add a lot of excitement to that. One thing I'll show you with that ending with the pedal. So if I do this chord, I'm going to hold the pedal down while I do these. Now I want to transition from all that sound to no sound at all, and then put the pedal back down. Now let me show you what happens if I don't do that. Whoops. It just sounds a little too muddy. So what you do is you clear all of that sound out, but you want to keep that pedal tone so it rings very, very nice and rich. Again, it comes down with the pedal down all the way. Clear the pedal after you play the note. Lift the pedal, put it back down, jump up. That timing will take a little bit because it's really fast. Okay, that's it. Let me show you one more thing with the right hand that's so tempting to play this wrong. Okay, let's come over here to piano marble, and this is a pitfall. Almost everybody does this. This fingering changes to the 2 fingering right here on the C sharp. It's actually a separate hand position. It's the only weird part in the whole song. So if you come and look at my hands, I have this. You notice I haven't moved at all out of that position until now. Go to the 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3. So it's a new hand position. And what I see most people want to do is they say, why can't I just do this? It puts your hand in a very awkward position. You have to slide your hand in, put your thumb on that, and almost throws everybody off. It never sounds good if you do it that way. Just cross over to the 2 finger and put your hand in this position. That is so much more relaxing. And that's the only other pitfall. Other than that, this should be a really fast song to learn. If you come in here to the minced slicing, you can see how the section A is labeled. Start working on the right hand, going through all 3 speeds, then do the left hand all 3 speeds, and then you're done. Go through, put hands together, finish those trophies, have fun with this song, and we will see you for the next song of the week. Have fun.